Hello, welcome to what
Super Club. Ha!
Ha!
I thought it was good.
Sweater weather edition.
Good morning. We are at Caroline's house. It is Saturday, November 3rd, and it is just about noon. It's almost 12:30. And the reason why we are gathered so early is because tonight we will be having our annual Super Club party. Woo! And this party,
Annual as in it will happen once.
we're making a delicious fall soup, which we have yet to decide, but we will decide before we make it.
Yes. Okay, great. I think we have some good ideas here. Something with like pumpkin or squash.
Butternut squash and white bean soup.
We want to do
Roasted
something with a
pumpkin
squash
apple
or a
sauce.
pumpkin.
Ooh,
Because
that
that's
looks
fall-ish.
good. That looks really good.
Go butternut squash and white bean soup because I'm pretty sure my mom's made that before and it was really good.
So the event tonight will be poppin' because we will have several people here to consume our food. We have previously been accused of being exclusive, among many other accusations,
Which I still disagree with.
which I still agree with.
Well, I mean, we're exclusive, but we don't apologize for it because we don't mind being exclusive.
That's true.
It's kind of the definition of a club, really. Like, if a club was not exclusive, then, like, it wouldn't be a club. Everyone would just be in the club.
It'll be an excellent social event, and everyone will have good soup and other appetizers, and it'll be just an excellent day overall.
And we will develop new skills of being hostesses at, a little party event.
True.
Yeah. And we'll have to make large quantities of food that we
Oh,
normally
yeah.
don't have trouble with that, so that's good.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to make a lot of soup. I'm
Yeah.
excited. It's gonna smell really good.
Ooh, true.
Well, let's figure out what we're making first.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's plan and initiate.
Good.
So we are making roasted butternut squash soup. Sorry for the slight delay. We've had a little bit of an impasse in our planning process. We were all sitting on this couch and we were really comfortable, and Luisa suddenly had this problem with turning the camera on. And
Because I always do it.
so Nicole played Tetris and I took a nap on her. And I don't know what Luisa does.
I took a nap too.
Oh, okay, it was a good nap, so I think we're all very energized and ready now. We also spent about 5 minutes laughing at Nicole.
She started crying. She started crying.
She was like, "This brie is ruining everything."
I said messing up
And then she was
She
crying.
started crying.
And then Lisa and I were like crying, laughing at her.
It was hilarious.
It was pretty great. So anyway, we decided what to cook today, and we're very excited about it. First, we are making brie en croûte, which is like a brie inside a puff pastry that gets all warm and has like raspberry jam and things on top, and it's going to be delicious. And we had a lot of debate over whether this was an appetizer or a dessert, but we ended up making it our appetizer. And then we are making roasted butternut squash soup, which sounds amazing and very fall-like. And then we're making spinach and bacon quiche. And finally, for dessert, we are making hot buttered spiced cider. It's going to be a very fall meal, and we hope that it will get a little colder tonight so we can all enjoy it.
I've actually been planning and initiating the supper club all week by inviting guests and talking about what we wanted to cook, although we basically changed almost everything except for the soup. So we are going to have several challenges today. One of them is going to be to pace ourselves accordingly, because all of our dishes are hot dishes and they're going to be served in courses at our party event. So we have to figure out when to cook what and when to serve what. So that's going to be a challenge for us.
And in our planning, we're each going to take responsibility for a recipe. Find a smaller squad.
Luisa, what are you guys doing right now?
We're weighing the squash.
How many pounds is that squash?
6.5 pounds, so we need 8.
Okay, excellent.
Caroline, can you reach out, Caroline?
There's several different squash.
9.
Okay, let's do it.
Caroline, you can't throw it on there.
Okay, that's the smallest one we're gonna get. That's
Let's do all 3 of these.
Oh, okay. Most ridiculous experience in my life.
Caroline, you cannot throw it on there.
Doesn't say anything.
Put it lightly, put it lightly.
No.
That's closer though.
No, I kind of want the big one.
7.5. You can't just get the big one.
The big one and this little one. And then we have like 9. Wait. Let's be honest, we might lose some in the cutting process.
Like literally misplace it.
That's good. We're getting those 2.
Okay. Excellent job.
A nut challenge. I can't find pecans. They have like literally every nut you've ever won in your life, but no pecans. You need to find a nut expert. Nicole?
I am not a nut expert, unfortunately.
Oh, here, text me back.
What do you say?
I'm almost there, haha. We'll wait in the nut aisle.
Yeah, but there's a snack aisle, so maybe they have nuts in the snack aisle, because nuts are a snack. That's logical.
I'm literally saying we'll wait in the nut aisle.
Okay, I guess we're stuck in this nut aisle now.
So, we're here with a Publix employee who's going to help us with our challenge. Sir, what is your full name?
Nick Richard.
Nick Richard. We're here with Nick Richard. Could you help us find the pecans? That's not how you spell pecans! Nicole!
Pecans!
Can you give us a no? Hold on.
Sorry.
And then like cans.
Sorry.
Produce.
Pecans, Nick. We're just at the produce.
Are they really in the produce?
No, seriously, find the pecans though.
This is the nut
No,
aisle.
they're not. Are you being
They
serious?
should be in
Swear
the
to
rest of the
God.
nuts.
You swear to God. You literally swear to God. No.
We forget something.
We are
in the produce
literally in
section
the
every
nut
time.
aisle.
I'm glad we found this Publix employee who we've never met before. To help us with this challenge.
These are the ingredients for roasted butternut squash soup. We have heavy cream, kosher salt, black pepper, butter, sage, Granny Smith apples and onion, chicken broth, and butternut squash.
These are the ingredients for spinach and bacon quiche. We have our heavy cream, Swiss cheese, eggs, bacon, spinach, and 2 pie crusts.
These are the ingredients for our brie en croûte. We have our wheel of brie, 2 eggs, butter, raspberry preserves, puff pastry sheets, and pecans. And these are the ingredients for our spiced cider. We have apple cider, lemon juice, orange juice, cinnamon cloves, just kidding, regular cloves, cinnamon sticks, and butter.
A lot of people are intimidated by hard winter squashes because they're difficult to cut, difficult to peel, and the risk of cutting off your fingertips while trying to get into one is pretty high. To avoid those pitfalls, pierce your squash all over with the tip of a knife and then put it in the microwave for 1 to 2 minutes. This will give you a squash that's easy to peel and easy to cut.
Watch my technique, Nicole. I'm piercing my squash all over with the tip of a knife. Look at this giant, ridiculous squash we got. We did not think this over.
We keep having this problem with buying vegetables that are too large.
We do have that problem a lot. That's a new challenge we should overcome. Now let's see what this is going to do. I'm a little concerned.
Will it spit?
I have a giant squash
Okay,
in my microwave.
Louisa, what are you doing?
Right now I have just sauteed the pecans and placed them on top of the brie, and I've also just put the raspberry jam on top of the brie, and now I'm about to top it with this pastry dough.
Very nice.
I have
Caroline?
finished dealing with my little squash, and now I'm tackling my mammoth squash. I think it's gonna work. If I can get through this without cutting my finger off, then I'll consider this
But
a
you know,
success.
according to the video, the chances are high.
Yeah, that's not good.
And I've beaten a dozen eggs and added 3 cups of cream, and now I'm about to
Oh, do you want to see my
mix it and such.
So Supper Club is progressing well. We've just finished preparing the squash for roasting. We have all of these squash halves that we cut and peeled, and then I buttered them all on all sides with my hands. It was a very long effort. I've been working on it the whole time. And Luis also helped. And Nicole is working on her quiche. She is concerned that everything won't fit in our little pie crust over here.
Yeah.
And she's been chopping a lot of spinach and things. And Louisa finished her brie, and she's helping everyone with things.
I'm collaborating.
Yeah, she's collaborating very well. So yeah, now we're going to roast the squash for an
Caroline,
hour.
you got squash gut.
We are encountering more challenges.
So I was adding the spinach and stuff, and they're like, "Oh, keep adding more because you know the liquid will like filter through," which makes sense. But as I'm pouring this, like,
Apparently the cheese is acting as a barrier.
it's like just kind of like not very.
Yeah, it's not very permeable.
So I don't know.
Oh, I should have gotten deep dish pie crust.
Oh my god.
I'm also encountering more challenges because I just learned that after that large squash effort, I now have to cut and peel my apples and my onion. So I'm kind of depressed. So I am working on the soup, and I've combined apples and onion and fresh sage leaves into the saucepan, and it smells really good, the combination of onion and apples. And then here are our roasted squash. And in a minute, but not yet, I'm going to combine all of this in our big saucepan bowl thing.
Cool.
Pots, whatever. I don't know.
And then this is our quiche. There's another one back there too that's cooking. And Lisa, you are
I am adding the orange and lemon juice to our unheated cider.
cool. And yeah, and we're setting up outside for our guests. Oh, there's a guest right now. Look who it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's Solomon Howard. What do you know?
Okay.
Our guests have begun to arrive, everyone.
Need a large.
Hello. We are nearing the end of our supper club cooking process, and I think that we have overcome our challenges quite well. So a lot of the people, I think we have like 4 or 5 people here that are supposed to come, are actually here. And we are serving them cider right now.
Cider!
In like an hour and a half or something, we'll start serving the soup and the quiche, and then that'll be our meal, and we're just gonna hang out and socialize. So why don't you go on out back
And I'm
check
very
out the
proud of
guests.
how the soup turned out. There was a lot involved. I like had to blend it and stuff, but now it is
Beautiful.
creamy and gorgeous, and I tried it and
Wow.
it's delicious. So
Good.
I'm really excited.
All right, here's our warm cider, and we're gonna take you outside now. Ow, this is kind of hot. To our lovely.
Do we need more cups out there?
Did someone leave the cider?
lightly
No, maybe.
Which one is his?
We're gonna
Oh,
take
get
you
your cider.
outside to our lovely little. Oh, it's so cute. We're just sitting outside.
Lemon juice, orange juice, cloves, and
How do we have an extra cider? What happened?
Apple cider.
Oh, there's an extra cider.
You
I
said
don't know
what's
what
in the apple cider, so I would say apple cider is in the apple cider.
Here's our
You know what
group
this?
of people. Hey, JT.
Is it like
Hey, Solomon. So, what did you consume today that was made by the Supper Club?
Okay, I consumed a brie en fruit, which was this like raspberry and nut brie that was toasted in puff pastry.
have to speak up.
Baked in puff pastry. Project. And that was the appetizer, which we decided was to be the appetizer instead of the dessert, which was a tough decision. Then to go with that was the special hot cider, which was really tasty. It had orange juice in it, which was an interesting combination. Wouldn't have really thought of that, but the citrus and the apple worked well. Then moved on to the entree, and it was some butternut squash, like soup. It was like really thick soup, so still soup. And it was tasty, and once again had some interesting taste combinations. There was some apple, some onion in it, butternut squash, so it was mostly savory, but there were some sweet parts, and it was squash, so it had that consistency. But it was really hearty and filling, and made me feel fine that I didn't get to eat the other part of the main course, which was a spinach and bacon and cheese quiche, and because it's bacon and because it's cheese also, the bacon and cheese, I couldn't eat it, but
Because he's Jewish.
because I'm Jewish, and they all said it was great, and it looked like they prepared it correctly. So, yeah.
So, did you have a pleasant Supper Club experience?
I had a very pleasant supper club
Will
experience.
you be joining us again?
Kudos, I would love to join you again.
Do you have an apology to issue?
Oh yes, I formally, on camera, on the record, issue an apology for ducking out of the last supper club. I'm sorry.
Supper Club accepts this apology.